Our Collision 2018 coverage is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. Find out all the ways you can benefit from a Prime subscription and get a 30-day free trial by going to collision.live/prime and by audiobooks.com. Get a free trial and a free audiobook to keep at audiobooks.com using promo code TRY70. Well, we have our next guest here. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How are you doing?
Fantastic.
I'm super, thanks.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
So I'm Brian Handrigan, one of the co-founders of Advocado.
I loved the name. I didn't even get so far as to figure out what you guys did before I sent you the invitation email.
Oh, really?
Because I loved the name so much.
It's a really cool name.
And I love the logo, knowing what it is you guys do. But go ahead and explain what that is.
Sure. So what we do is we actually solve a problem that's been going on for a long time. Almost 10 years ago, Google did some research that proved that TV advertising drives search activity. So we all know it. And the current answer is just spend more on Google. Mm-hmm. We actually took a different approach, and we actually have a patented technology that perfectly times digital and social advertising to be in sync with your TV ads.
Yep.
Yeah, so as you're watching television in a market, and as you'll see in my pitch tomorrow, we're on pitch stage.
Excellent.
If you see a commercial that interests you and you pick up your phone, we can localize down to the market and optimize those bids so that that advertisement gets what they want at the top of the digital searches. It's really, I've spent almost 20 years in digital, and this was a super exciting idea when it came across my desk.
It's so fascinating. I think it's the thing that Google thought they were going to figure out when they started selling TV ads and never quite did.
Yeah.
Because that just turned into them being another ad agency. There was nothing interesting about what they ended up doing. And this is so interesting.
Cool. I've got something even more fun about the story behind all this.
Okay.
So you might not expect that a technology like this is coming out of St. Louis, right? So we're in the middle of the country. We've got a big startup scene going. And if you want to back it up, the underlying tech that's been patented for a lot of years was originally designed to support an interactive Voltron toy. I mean, it is like the coolest story you'd ever want to hear.
This sounds like sorcery.
It was the Willow movie.
It was, see? Now we're back to Willow.
Oh, that's funny because the people who aren't watching live are not going to have any idea what that reference was.
No.
But anyway, no, so this technology was originally developed for toys.
That's so weird.
And as things happen, a friend of mine in the startup community a couple of years ago said, hey, I've got a friend, Sam, who's back behind the camera. They have this interesting patent. They're trying to figure out how to connect it with digital, and we had lunch, and 2 days later we said, all right, let's take some stuff that I'd built in the past on real-time AdWords optimization, plus this technology, and we had an idea.
The toy was designed to do things based on the time that a broadcast was happening.
Not just a broadcast. The broadcast signal actually sent a message to the toy.
I remember that.
I was trying to figure out where this patent came in, and all of a sudden it hit me. The toy responded to the broadcast.
Exactly. That was the original idea. That was the original purpose of the patent.
What an interesting pivot on the patent.
Yeah. Well, and it even gets more interesting because what then happened is the folks at Kantar Media licensed it, and it's actually used as the industry standard to verify that broadcast ads run. So if you're a large advertiser, and that's how it's been used for the last 10 years.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. That's how they can sync up and see, did the network accidentally run the bug over top of the ad, which means they don't have to pay for it, or or something like that.
Exactly. And then what did the local market,
that's crazy
did the local Fox station play your ad?
At all.
At all.
Yeah.
And so they've been collecting data. And so we had our idea. We ran a pilot which just blew our minds. We did a pilot last November after we put our minimum viable product in place. Okay. And we had a 98% increase in search click-through rates after 3 weeks.
Wow.
So it was insane.
Okay, so let's get to what I can do with this.
Sure.
So let's say I'm running an ad about our collision coverage on the NBC affiliates
here in New Orleans.
Here in New Orleans.
No, because that's important, right? Because national, you can just guess everybody, and you
Easy
get a
enough.
lot of waste because not everybody's watching the
Yeah.
national. But when you get local, you have the opportunity
Yeah.
to really focus.
So we could run an ad during the morning show
Yep.
here in the area where maybe they had somebody out front talking about collision happening.
Exactly.
So we run an ad that says we're going to be here all week, and then with that, we can
So here's what
time
we
it so I can buy AdWords for maybe collision just in that time period.
Exactly. So
Just in New Orleans.
Yeah, so it's even more cool
What?
than that because this is not planned. This is reactive. So we preset your campaign optimization. So let's say you have a 50 cent per click average bid,
Okay.
right? Because you're trying to stretch out your budget.
Yeah.
But then you want to be able to bump it up when you know people saw your ad. So we have a digital watermark that is embedded in your ad signal. And when it's running in New Orleans, we have computers watching television here, and they pick up the signal. So within 7 seconds of the ad running, because we never know when it's going to run,
Right.
we immediately then talk to AdWords and adjust those bids to move them up. And we can find out exactly what you need to be number one at that moment in time in New
What?
Orleans.
Wow.
And here's the fun part.
That just made AdWords not a waste for somebody
Yes.
who's not NBC themselves.
Well, and even beyond that, though, what's important is not everybody, right, has budgets that they can just burn.
Yeah.
You need to maximize these micro moments. So what we do is we optimize for the length of the commercial, which we know, and then we add another 90 seconds to it. And then after those 90 seconds, everything is reset back to where it was. So you have no waste in your budget.
What?
This is magic.
Yeah.
It is
It's-
sorcery, which
It
is why we
sorcery
let
for
in that
sure.
way.
Yeah. We'll pretend that was the tie-in. Wow. I love this.
Oh, thanks. We do too.
Obviously, for very good reason.
Yes.
How red tag, you're
Yep.
an alpha. Where are you
Yep.
in this right now?
So it's really interesting. We took a model. So one of our co-founders, Jeff, and I have been in business for a lot of years, and so we've done SaaS startups before.
Okay.
So this time, you can tell we're fairly fully baked as we are starting to launch. We took time and made sure that we built out the right team and the right strategy. We had the luxury of doing it with this, filed some more patents around this connectivity between broadcast optimization and digital. And so we've been self-funded so far, which is always nice.
Yes.
We've had a lot of folks express interest, so we're going to take some meetings. But we're actually launching this summer officially. So we have private beta right now.
Okay.
And one of our big things was whether or not we needed to build out our own observation network.
Right.
So what's great
I
is
was wondering about that.
yeah, and it's a big deal because there are a couple of players that do things differently. They essentially work like Shazam on a TV ad where they have a video and audio fingerprint.
Yeah.
We don't guess. We're exact because we know the code in our watermark.
Yeah.
And so we
That's
just restarted.
awesome idea.
I didn't mean to talk over you, but what we did was we ended up going back to our partner Kantar, who licenses the tech from us, and signed a deal back with them where we're partnering. So when we launch, 210 local markets complete coverage on day one. So there isn't a place in the U.S. that we won't be able to help an advertiser.
Wow. 210 local markets.
Yep.
So you didn't go, all right, we're going to just try in the big 50 or something.
Nope. No, the other players have 5 or 10 markets. They went to the top. We said, if we can have coverage, what's even great is even bigger than that because we have those. We have 185 national cable channels, including sports networks.
Okay.
We have the Hispanic lineup. We have 100 direct TV stations. We have Dish, and we're working on other partnerships. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, our goal is to be the gold standard for this type of optimization.
I might cry.
I know you're thinking about Tate's being able to run this. Tate's Comics. That's what a great way to run ads.
Yeah.
I can see it for marketing this
Yeah.
in local markets too. What a cool idea. If I wanted more information,
Yep.
How do I get it?
It's pretty easy. We're Advocado, so avocado with a D, .media.
Okay.
So just go right www.advocado.media, and you'll find us. On Twitter, we're myadvocado.
Oh.
I loved it.
Easy enough. And what kind? Once you launch, do you know what price points we're going to be looking? You know, what this is going to cost?
Yeah. So we actually have two products that we're putting to market. One is actually we didn't even get into a little bit. It's just an analytics side. So if you want to dip your toe, and you want to understand the correlation between broadcast and your digital activity, we actually send events into Google Analytics. So when did your ad start in Dallas? When did your ad finish? So you can actually now see it visibly before you did any optimization, what kind of bump you're getting from TV. But then we took a real, I think, fair approach to our pricing, and it's a top 20, 21 through 50, and 50-plus market price.
Okay.
And it's based on two factors. Every time, essentially, we do a bid optimization, it's $5 per event in a top 20 market, $4 in the next tier, $3 in 51 plus.
Okay.
And then 3% of the optimized digital spend. So it's
Okay.
very clearly understandable. If there's no ROI, don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I can't wait to see this out in the wild and start hearing some stories of people who are using it with success. I can't wait to see that. Hopefully we'll see that on your website.
Yeah, you'll definitely see it. We've got some interesting we just met with a fairly large agency group last week that wants to use it this fall, and we're expecting to have a lot of fun data points along that. Now, one of the things just that we learned that was interesting, if you're curious, is, and this blew our minds, we thought we would get a bump, right, in performance.
Sure.
And so if we only had one impact, right, you have a bump and it stays flat. What we learned was by introducing our optimizations, we taught Google AdWords how to find better audience members. So the first week of our pilot, we got a 30% increase. The second week, it grew to 60. The third week, it grew to 98. And then as soon as we stopped, everything within a day and a half, everything started going back down because Google AdWords no longer had the stimulus. And so we were optimizing even when TV wasn't on. It blew our minds.
Wow. Because Google was learning the target better.
Yes.
That's incredible. Because they make more money when the target's better too.
Exactly.
Everybody does better. Google is better. The advertiser does better. Everything goes better with us.
Well, and then the TV folks, right? They finally, like, one of our big partner channels are media agencies that are doing these large TV plans. So they know how to target large swaths of people. But what they haven't been able to do is say, and be credible, now here's what we're going to do with your digital.
Yeah, right.
And so now digital and broadcast can play in the same sandbox and not get in a fight.
Yeah, right. The same agency can rep both and not feel like one is doing something bizarre behind the scene, you know.
Well, that, or they can simply play well with the digital agency.
Yeah.
The other thing that we've learned, which is interesting, is digital folks don't understand broadcast, right? So now,
which is why Google's not in the space anymore.
Yep.
They did not understand it ever.
Exactly.
I spent time in their TV thing when they first announced it. I'm like, wow, yeah, y'all don't understand that industry at all.
Yeah, I remember when that launched. It was very interesting. But as you said, it didn't really go anywhere.
They thought they understood advertising, but that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So here at Collision, what's your goal for being here?
Yeah, our goal is really, this is our big first public, right, getting out there to let people know we're here.
Okay.
We want to create relationships with strategic partners. So we know we've got a lot of agencies, right, that are here checking out tech. We want to start conversations and see who else we want to bring into our private beta.
Okay.
Obviously, as we look to scale, there may be strategic investment that we want to talk to.
Sure.
But then just really see how the message plays. Like, this has been great because we think it's an exciting idea, but it doesn't mean everyone is.
Sure, absolutely.
And if at the end of the day we're also in the pitch competition.
Okay.
So hell, I want to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This has been great.
That's great. I have some PR companies that I'll make some introductions after the event is over for you.
That's great. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I've actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
Great.
And hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of Collision. And meet your goals for being here.
Great. Hey, thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Cheers.